Good morning. Oh. I'm gonna fiddle with the things. Okay. This just takes me to where I left off. Do I want to play with a mouse, a keyboard, or do I want to play with my controller? I don't want to play with my controller. Okay. Are we prepared mentally, physically, and emotionally? Probably not. But we gotta do this autopsy. Look how sad he looks, this little kid. He's just like, man, took my body down. Now can't do nothing. Okay.
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Okay. First, what exactly is a field autopsy?
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
I'm hoping I was wrong. Actually, it appears I've forgotten what a field autopsy is.
Fine. It's a 3-part form to be filled out on the scene by the detectives responsible. One takes notes, the other dictates. The goal is to establish cause of death.
Do we need a scalpel for it?
A scalpel is not always required. I hope this is one of those cases. Latex gloves are, however.
Alright, I am wearing gloves, though. Yes, I've got rubber gloves on. It's a little weird that Kim is like, maybe he thinks you're messing with him. He's just like, no, you're not an imposter. You're definitely a cop. And I will accept no alternatives.
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited capacity.
Okay, that's alright.
I'll ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you take notes?
Okay, where should I take these notes? In my paperwork? Oh, I never looked at that son of a bee.
Yes, you see, the field autopsy form is the one on red copier paper.
Red copier paper. Okay, open my ledger at the field autopsy.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts.
Yummy.
Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with,
One assistant.
That's you.
Right, Harry Dubois. I like the name Harry Dubois.
the corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says,
Coroner's case number?
KK57-0803.0815.
I wonder what those numbers mean. It's not the date, it's like February or March.
Next,
Name?
NA.
Date of
Like
birth?
NA.
Age?
Roughly 50.
Right, approximately 50.
the corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook.
Race?
Mondial.
Write it
The
down.
pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Sex?
Fucky!
Oh.
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Right, fucky. I'm apparently possibly distracted. No, we'll write down male. I wonder what happens if you write down fucky.
Naively, the lieutenant does not double-check your notes.
Who's gonna read this shit? Date of birth.
We're still going with March 4th. 51.
Okay, so yeah, it's 7 days later, so it's March 11th. Something like that. It's day 1, it's a Monday. Let's see, right? 04, 03. Doing it British style.
What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
KK57 0503 0815 listens motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
That wasn't his number. Where'd he go? Write down name, date of birth, age. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think it was 0803. And I was like, why? Why was it 0803? I guess it would be the date. It's not the date though. Anyway, evidence of treatment.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
And what's treatment?
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
Are you kidding me? That kid just threw rocks at it all day. I'm not so sure. Didn't the footprints look like he was carried over?
They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dog walkers.
It's gonna be perception.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath.
Oh.
Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then...
He places his hand on the dead man's chest as if in preparation, and then he does it. Blah, blah, blah. This is gonna be a sprayed corpse. Pretty sure.
Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. The building is tall, 7 stories wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This was a suicide. The other, an accident. The small one. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today. 42 stations of breath.
We should start the post-mortem.
Interesting. Shivers gives interesting information.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
External examination summary.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
He's checking the underwear label.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
When am I gonna get them?
Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege.
Let's, omit the boots.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings. to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene using a triggered mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color, yellow. Length, 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end.
Would you need to tie a hangman's knot? It was overly complicated with something with a buckle where you could, slide one end through the buckle and just tighten the belt until somebody chokes.
Well nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters, generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Touch the corpse's hair before moving on.
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet.
Stroke his hair gently. Poor dead man.
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to the latex of the glove, like thread off a rag doll's head. There must be brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil.
Write it down, adding the brilliantine.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest. Consistent with predation.
Alright, write it down, put him in for screw Kuno.
Ligature mark.
Let's see, the lieutenant produces a small folding knife with the other hand pulling on the belt. He starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut.
The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
Okay. Don't we have bolt cutters?
You got just the right tool for that.
Oh, yeah.
The chain cutters.
I'm prepared. Good thing we got these chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now,
He points to the rope, squeezing the dead man's neck.
we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
That sentence, he points to this rope squeezing the dead man's neck, makes it sound like Kim is squeezing the neck. He's just like holding the head on by a thin thread.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
It's true. Let's see. I'm not your pig, Kuno.
You are? You're Kuno's pig?
I'm not your pig. I'm not your piggy. Okay. Look for a good spot to cut.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the east.
Ew.
The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now, like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose.
Stupid argument with Kuno. The +3 because interfacing told you what to do.
After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
See, the lieutenant has kneeled closer, running his finger along the dark red groove until there's a gap.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest, pulling up.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters.
So he's saying the rope rises to a point leaving a gap, so where the knot was being pulled away from the skin by the force of the body. There's no mark. Got it. Let's see. Consistent with the drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. So a meter is like 3 feet. So they like hoisted him up there with the rope. So he wasn't. He's saying it dropped, not that he was pulled upwards, not yanked upwards. How would you know the difference though?
Chest is intact. Normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis intact. Genitalia.
Pulls down the man's underpants.
No! Let's get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Inspect the genitals.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
I was just thinking about this last night for some reason. Being dead is so invasive. Everything, like, from just maggots getting into all the little crevices, like all the little crevices of your body, to like coroners going in and poking around and getting you dressed. It's like no dignity in death. It's pretty gross.
You should touch it.
Touch the penis.
Doesn't feel like anything. A cold spot under your gardening gloves. Unremarkable and unalive.
My pig's so fucking ill right now.
His voice swells with pride.
Oh, your pig's pretty sick, I gotta say.
Write it down and move on.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are all combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip.
I'm like a child or something. I have to touch everything, apparently.
Bullets have bitten little pieces out of him. It must have been excruciating, especially the hip. Before you is a temple of pain that knew little tenderness in life.
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
This is the body of a soldier, a mercenary.
We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars.
Write it down.
Last item, hands.
He takes the man's right hand in his, inspects it, then moves on to the other hand. Pick up the hand.
The hand feels heavy, filled with decay liquids, like it's ready to explode if squeezed hard enough. You're suddenly repulsed, so much so you feel compelled to drop it.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
Let's see. Were you expecting any?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, the stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment.
I mean, he's a big guy. If somebody came to lynch him, he should have fought back.
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
Okay. Internal examination summary. I don't think we're doing that out here in the field.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Let's find out.
You don't even have a joke.
Nope.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
That's that little bone right here, and if it's broken, it's usually a sign of strangulation, I believe.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous.
Ew. This is so graphic. For just words, it's so disturbing to just read or hear.
You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
That's not how that works, kid.
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable.
Write it down.
Respiratory system.
He back hunched as if in prayer. He begins to pry open the dead man's jaw. He stops to exert more force. Both hands are used.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants. possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen, hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
Look inside the dead man's mouth.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his.
Oh my god.
No, you don't. You can keep it in. You can keep anything in.
You got this. We're tough. Okay, look deeper inside.
You manage to suppress the contractions trying to enter your stomach. All it takes is concentration. Through it, you see nothing but darkness. More meat and darkness.
I was gonna say deep breaths, but maybe you don't want to do deep breaths this close to a corpse. Okay.
Silence as always.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
Hemorrhaging some blood in the mucus. Hey, let's go with the jaw, the mouth all shut before you. Write it down.
Hepatobiliary. NA.
Why don't we have anything? Hepatobiliary? Biliary, like bile or something?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
I don't think so. He said the corpse's stomach with a mixture of tiredness. Hepto, so stomach bile. Like a last meal, maybe? Now I want to know. I want to know.
It's happier.
What is this plane? I don't know. But I want to know what hepatobiliary. Biliary, I think, is bile. Hepatobiliary. Having to do with the liver, bile ducts, or gallbladder. So, yeah, hepto would be liver. And then, interesting. I don't think so.
Neither am I.
And that's it?
That's it.
Right, NA?
Same for toxicology and serology. NA.
Both? Both? I don't have a detox kit on me or whatever.
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there.
The completionist in me wonders if there's something we could still do.
Like a toxicology screening. At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request.
Okay.
Brimming with cocaine.
Right, and toxicology requested.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging.
Hypostasis. Is it? Hypostasis is state. Sleeping state? Hypostasis. The accumulation of fluid or blood in the lower parts of the body or organs under the influence of gravity, as occurs in cases of poor circulation or after death. Got it.
Gastrointestinal.
He breathed a sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground, the pool of feces there. I'm getting real nauseous. Jeez.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Voila. He touches the corpse's bloated lower abdomen briefly. Write it down. Keep the voila. Keep the voila.
What's next on the list?
Let's see. Description of injuries.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
All right, I will do that. What about the injuries we have inflicted?
Oh, so we inflicted them?
This is a team effort, Kim.
You mean the spin-stabilized munition from a Kill A919 as a loader lodged in his lung?
Hey, center mass is what you're supposed to aim for.
That was not a team effort. I just mismentioned. Also, let's not mention it. Muddies the water.
What? Isn't that sloppy? And really came here to throw me under the bus.
Be pedantic if you like, it doesn't matter. No one else is going to investigate this man's murder. And if they do, such details would only confuse them.
Point getters.
See? These pigs are fucking corrupt.
Why don't you fuck him if you love him so much?
And
Now, injuries.
all right, bite marks.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
Kitty. Let's see. Predation by birds. Odontologist? Is that like a bird expert?
And your opinion, officer?
Opinion, fatal injury. Well, yeah, probably non-fatal injury postmortem.
Agreed.
He
Next
was
injury.
murdered by birds. Birds! All right, contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Write it down, maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Opinion, fatal injury. You're going to jail, Kuno. No, non-fatal postmortem.
Right.
Okay.
Next.
3, the ligature mark. What's the 4th injury field for?
Nothing. Just in case.
Turn the page back.
The corpse lay slouched to the side, oblivious to its surroundings.
All right. Bite mark.
Be thorough if you want
Okay.
maximum results.
Ligature mark. Finish the autopsy.
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured. The cervical column intact.
Cervical column, so the neck is intact. Or at least the bones of the neck.
I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
He was unconscious. I mean, let's be real.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
Perception?
Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
I wish there was a C option, but I mean, it's hard to tell, though. He was unconscious, so there's no defensive wounds on his hands, so he didn't do it, like, bite his victim, his attackers. And, there's no claw marks, like he wasn't awake or anything like that. This is what I did the first time. I don't think there's evidence, based on what is here, that he was alive or dead when he was hung. So... The lieutenant falls silent abruptly.
A column of cold air encircles you, rising slowly upward in the shape of a courtyard, bordered by cracked plaster, windows, seagulls perched on air conditioning units. A small green enclosure in the middle of a corral of tenements, Cape-side apartments, whirling in rags, and the fortress wall of Terminal B. Above it, a thin blanket of coastal stratus clouds. Higher yet, coalition airships guard over the 21 cordons of the zone of control. The air is crisscrossed with radio transmissions. The hair on your neck rises.
Was that right?
You will.
I've never got that one before. Interesting.
Why do you say that?
I just took a whack in the dark. No, I'm serious. I don't think this was the injury that killed him. I mean, it might have been, but I don't know. I am not a forensic person. If somebody is unconscious and hung by the neck, do they struggle? Does it wake them up? Does adrenaline shoot through their body, and then you would have the claw marks? I mean, how high would you, or dead would you, or dead? How dead would you have to be? How high would you have to be, though, to just be hung and not react in any way? I don't know. I mean, I believe it could happen. That's the part that's like, if he was drugged, and so drugged that he did not react to being hung by the neck, then it could be the fatal injury. But, I mean, we have no evidence that he was high. I don't know how we could tell that. Maybe blood lividity? Like, the bruising would be different if he was on drugs? Because drugs can affect your blood flow. I don't know. I just took a whack in the dark. I did not take a whack in the dark. I have very logical reasons for my beliefs.
Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal?
Okay, I arrived at this conclusion through the psychic arts. I did not. Why weren't his hands tied? A big man like this, I would tie his hands when marching him to the gallows. I mean, there is no reason I guess to invest. No. Why wasn't his hands tied?
Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrist. That part got blurry for me. Stench. But you are right, I was ready to call this. Now I think we should leave it empty, at least for the time being. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
Alright, how did it go, Kim? How was our first time together?
It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of an autopsy. But, personally, I do not see this as a parameter for success. We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of obvious things that say this guy was not conscious when he was hung. What
We
else?
were thorough with the list of injuries, too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
Oh yeah, well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink is in order?
Perhaps a drink is in order later. I mean, let's get a drink, Kim.
Now, you see, that worries me. You will die if you drink. You know that, don't you? You are proving a useful detective. The organization would miss you.
Okay, what now?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg
Rip out a copy of the autopsy pages.
for processing.
He looks at the dead man one more time, then at the slip of red paper in his hand, then at the corpse again.
You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse.
Try to remove the legendary. Search the body one more time thoroughly. Let's see. Let's see if we can look one more time.
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough. The genitals in his breeches continue to be unnoteworthy. You see the penis of a dead man. If you've seen it once, you've already got the picture.
Maybe if I touch it again.
There is no need. We have been thorough with the genitals. Do you think we missed something?
Yes, there's something we're not seeing.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast.
What is liver mortis? Rigor mortis is when you go stiff, and then after a few days you go soft again. Liver mortis. The final change in the classical triad is liver mortis, which is the purplish blue discoloration of the skin and the dependent parts of the body due to the collection of blood and skin vessels caused by gravitational pull. Hypostasis develops as spots of discoloration within half an hour to 2 hours. So the bruising from blood pooling in the extremities, like your arms and legs, very cool. Well, not cool, gross, but if we need to refrigerate, let's see. Okay, well, we're liver mortis here. Can't you just hang out here for a while? Okay, where do we find a fridge for the body?
It would have to be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling in Rags and the Fritz store down at the gates. If they don't know, but only if all else fails.
Fuck are you looking at, Beano, man? You want a piece of the Kuno? Wanna get fucked?
What would Kuno be able to do?
Only if all else fails.
I need to take another. Okay. Let's hurry then.
This is one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we are looking for will become harder to find.
Okay. Speed train Kuno leaving the station. Choo choo. He's playing with his choo choo dolls. That's kind of cute. Let's go to the Frick, because I think I feel like they close soon. It's 10 o'clock? Bam! Hit that guy. Oh no. No, it's open. Do you have a giant fridge we can store a
The
corpse
tear
in?
machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Excuse me, I have the tear bag, but no tear. Can I still use the tear machine?
No. You need tear to use the tear machine.
Ah, thank you, good man.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
I have a giant novelty check. I need to exchange this novelty check for cash.
Wow. I didn't know you worked for the union, sir.
Let's see.
Anything else I can do for you?
That was easy. Worryingly so.
Does he always give out giant novelty checks?
Blow the whole thing on speed and gin. Right now.
Right now.
Speed and gin. Great combo. Ask some local dealers.
Do we know any local dealers? Does Frit have a warehouse in the back of the whirling rides?
A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what Frit does.
Come on, give me something to work with here.
She looks up from under her brow.
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
Do you have a fridge?
Mm-hmm. Right behind you.
You're right, this is a fridge. Wicked.
Yeah.
I need to store a corpse there.
You're joking, right?
Measure the fridge with your fingers, one eye closed. Never mind. I don't think it would fit. No, I'm not joking. I need to store the corpse of the hangman in your fridge.
Okay. It wouldn't even fit, you know.
Now that I'm looking at it, maybe a glass door fridge in a public grocery store isn't the best option for storing a corpse.
Just put it on display. Everybody come and look. Pity, it would have been so beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know.
You said I wouldn't want to fuck with Frit. Why?
Because Frit has an army.
Frit has an army.
She blinks at you, confused as to why you'd ask such an obvious thing.
Ooh. Hold on, an army? You mean like mercenaries ready to kill people?
Yeah, like 2,000 or so.
Why would Frit need an army? It's just a corner shop.
I don't know. It stops people from robbing Frit, I guess. If they know there's an army, I mean, I wouldn't want to fuck with them anyway.
Some grocery stores have guards because they're douchebags. Fuck them.
Businesses often hire private security this side of the river. It's an unfortunate state of affairs, but not unheard of.
Isn't that what cops are for?
You think the police, like, bother catching shoplifters? Frit polices themselves, so, yeah. Anything else you wanted?
You'd better behave yourself in this fritte, or who knows what will happen.
Oh my god. Mercenaries will jump out at any corner. Let's get out of here, Kim. It's a dangerous place. It's dangerous. Okay. I got no time, lady.
Can I help you?
I seem to be in need of a fridge.
Yes. For the dead body. You want to put a dead corpse into my fridge, right?
He's fast.
Correct him.
I mean, he's not wrong. No, we want to put a very important dead body into your fridge.
I don't care. You're not putting a dead body into my fridge.
But why?
Because this is a culinary establishment, not a morgue. I can't believe you even asked me.
I'm sure the health inspector will overlook a corpse in your fridge. I mean, there's dead animals in there.
It would only be for...
Lieutenant, you too? You're asking too? No. The answer is no. I will not turn this place into some kind of macabre circus.
I hate to say it, but looks like we're going to have to ask Kuno if he knows of a spare fridge around
Kuno?
here.
I've never asked Kuno if there's a spare fridge before. Okay, bye! Wonder if this is like an update or something. I don't think so, though. So I feel like I've got the side eye. I don't know. The first time I played this, I think I just sent the corpse away. Kuno.
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
This is so superficial, kids. The race mystery runs deeper than you could ever understand. But we don't have time to speak about that. I wish I could have been there to see it. Now I have some questions.
Shoot that shit at Kuno, Pigonaut.
Kuno, I need a fridge to stash the body.
For the fuck imp. Good thing you asked the Kunmeister. Kuno knows a fridge. Perfect for freezing.
Really? I don't believe it.
Kuno knows all kinds of shit. Kuno gets around.
And where can I find this perfect fridge then?
Bacon Man's in a rush. But what's in it for the Kuno? What's the return on Kuno's investment?
A corpse-free yard. Don't you have civic pride? No, he doesn't. Kind sir, I will repay you for this information one day. Right now, the clock is ticking. Convince the Kuno to spill the beans. Come on, kid. Do it. Let's see. Are we lucky today? We are
Kuno's a
not
poor
lucky.
kid from a poor neighborhood. Say your job is on the line. He'll sympathize.
Kid, this is serious. My job is on the line. If I don't get this sorted, I might actually get fired.
The fuck are you doing right now? The fuck is this shit?
Don't pay attention to him. Just keep telling your sad story.
I've lost almost everything, Kuno. My memory, my money, even my name. I can't lose my job too. Please help me.
It's not that dramatic. We can just send the body to processing.
Kuno's never seen anything so lame. Listen, pig, if you were Kuno, the fuck would you care?
This isn't working at all. You lied to me, golden mouth man.
You just haven't done it long enough. You need to do it even longer. The Golden Mouth Man is a liar. He can't be trusted, sire. He only wants to humiliate you.
True.
No, it's the face blob who's trying to humiliate you. Why does he speak like that? Why can't he speak like a normal person?
You don't tell me. I'll have to go ask other people, and that will take too long. The body is decomposing. You're right, Kuno. If I were Kuno, I probably wouldn't care either.
See sad shit? Kuno doesn't fucking care about this sad shit. Your sad shit. Now, how about you at least try to entertain the Kuno, or get the fuck off his crime scene?
It's all the Kuno's crime scene now, eh?
Why don't we go pester some other kids now?
Okay.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Interesting. Interesting. Are there other kids? There's another kid. You know where our fridge is, kid? We need a giant fridge.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
Hello.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
What kind of store is this anyway?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl.
What's a book?
That is a book. They have stories inside them. It's like someone told you a story in a really long letter.
And what's a postcard?
A postcard is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words on the other side and send it to your friend or beloved.
And what's a board game?
Board games are like little games on a table, made to pass the time. There are several different ones, but sailors here mostly buy cards.
Interesting, thank you.
My pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know?
It's okay if I ask you some questions.
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
Say, child, you wouldn't happen to know a good fridge, would you?
A fridge?
Yeah, like a big fridge a cop could put a dead body into.
You mean like the ice bear fridge?
Ooh.
Man, that's scary.
These kids know everything.
Ice bear fridge?
Yes, like a bear, but white. There's a fridge below the building in the basement, with red glowing eyes. I went back there once, behind the bookstore. Mum doesn't want me to go there anymore. Not that I want to. It was pretty scary.
And there's a big fridge there.
Yes.
Ah. One more thing. How do I get inside the building?
That's a problem. The only way in is through the bookstore, but my mum is pretty strict about not letting anyone in. But I don't know. You're a policeman. Maybe you can convince her somehow. Anyway.
What's your name?
My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
You're out here in the cold because?
I'm signalling that the store is open.
Okay.
Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
I should have a word with the store owner, maybe.
Oh, no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm.
Hot juice? This is so gross. Okay, well, I will see you later, Annette. We will have a long discussion, but I need to see... Hello? A man about an ice bear fridge. I did not know you could get that clue from anybody.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance. Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
Are you the owner of the store?
I am. The proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Her voice, the high pitch, sounds familiar. You've talked to her before through the doorbell. I was told there's a huge fridge in the building cellar. Can you lead me there?
A fridge? No, I don't know anything about a fridge. Aren't you interested in books?
Do I look like somebody who reads?
For whatever reason, she's lying to you about the fridge. Seems like you have to find your own way to the cellar.
For where for now? Bookseller. Okay. Ooh.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Shopkeeper, what's behind the curtains?
Nothing. Why aren't you browsing the books? Don't you feel compelled to look at the books?
Nope.
You ought to.
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Examine the strange cage-like trinket.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
I feel like there was another secret check there that I didn't get because I'm not smart enough. Pull the curtains open. Ta-da!
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers.
I am the law.
Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
So you have secret curtains covered in talismans that you yell at everyone that you near. But I've heard there's a fridge that I need.
Everybody suddenly needs something from there. Leave the curtains be. It's what it wants.
It?
Okay, so what's in there has a will, and it wants you to enter?
Ma'am.
This is bad.
Oh, something scary in this tiger. Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there.
She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness.
I am sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
I'm the law.
The curtains do seem frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold.
You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir.
I don't care. You can't stop me. I'm gonna open them.
No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme.
Lies. Rip them open, we say.
Hell yeah.
The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
What happens if you just rip them open? Ta-da!
You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
I warned you. You're unleashing forces beyond your understanding.
Okay, crazy lady. I usually talk to her, but you know what? Hide all time. Ghostly silhouettes of hair dryers. Ooh. No sane person would ever put their head into such a machine. I mean, they might. A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. Looks like a gamme le million. It's a that hair poster. What? Okay.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. What if you just break it down?
This is gonna end poorly. How am I doing physically? Oh, I can take a hit. Maybe I should break it down, but not before I strategize.
That's right. Take in your surroundings. You need to have a solid ground and a proper posture if you want to succeed.
All right, let's get a rep pose.
Steady breathing.
Shouldn't I just try to open it
Solid
first?
core. You've got this. With one shoulder forward, you're ready to smash into the door like a battering ram.
Check your surroundings. Is the ground clear? No slippy banana peels in the way?
The room is dimly lit and littered with old barbershop rubbish. But the path to the door is clear.
And what about the door?
It's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with a carmine layer of rust. It should be doable.
I'll knock on the door.
Only echo. No one is there.
That literally scared me.
A hollowed out dark echo.
Something's behind there. All right. Let's bash our bodies into the door. That's right. Bam! Oh, snap. Oh, I think I broke my arm, Kim. That hurt.
You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side. But you've done it.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
Fuck the system. Freeze, dirtbags. Let's go. Okay, fucking hurts. One more time. We can do it. One more time. That lady is sending a bill to the police force. Oh gosh, Ken's like, what the fuck did you do?
What is this place?
It's an adventure.
No, it's a gym. Though it looks like no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a ray of streetlight falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark.
An empire?
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
What if there's a reason why nobody's been here for ages?
Yes, because it's closed. Now let's move on, shall we?
Level practical, Kim. Okay, let's... Ooh, I can level up. So... I can open a thought thing. It's really worth it to open these, though. Because you can, some kind of superstar. Because then you can be some kind of superstar. But thoughts give all kinds of great bonuses. So this one is gonna make me, less logical. I'm gonna be dumb for a while. What do we got going on? How logic? Oh, -2 of my... I'm gonna be real stupid. Guess I could be 0 there for a minute. Inland Empire can be very useful. Shiver seems more useful though. Or more Savoir Faire. My total is what? Oh yeah. I need some better pants. Pick locks and pockets. Or I can raise it up to 6 though. Damn. Perception, hand-eye coordination, 6. Let's be... We're gonna be a superstar cop in tune with the vibe of the city. Yeah. Okay. That's good. But we needed our... what do we got?
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you.
Isn't everything? Okay, inspect the toilet paper.
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Let's take it off.
Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila, the ledger now looks marginally better.
All right, let's inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Run your finger across the aluminium, because we're British.
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before.
Perception.
Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances.
Lieutenant, is this one of the halogen watermarks you mentioned?
What?
What?
Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property.
Interesting. What kind of information?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
Like, for example?
All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
That's all, thank you.
Okay.
He returns to his neatly kept notes.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight.
Browse the white pages.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What is in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. What do you mean? Is that all?
That's it?
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more. Judging by the creases on your forehead and the lines on your cheeks, too much more. Going back years, decades even.
There was mention of a naming convention.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name.
Oh my, and they're written in capital letters too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
More?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. You like this grimy murdering, don't you?
I love a good murder.
It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Okay. Can my case appears to employ some kind of naming convention?
You mean the alphanumeric?
No.
Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No. I mean a non-numeric one with titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM. right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named a case the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Count the pages. I have to open a case, an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more.
A case.
15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
Okay, commit to paper.
The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But
Kim, do you have a pen?
the lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large-caliber bullets on an ammo belt. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Fine, I'll use this crappy pencil. This guy ain't no friend of mine. Yet.
Absolutely motionless at first, then animated slowly, imperceptibly even. The lieutenant begins to browse his notes again, leaving you to the case files. Onto the paper with a brash free hand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. A language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Get the body down. Interview the cafeteria manager.
Cross out the ones you've already finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you.
I hate checklists. I always forget to check stuff off or look at them or create them.
You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Furies are at home in the mirror. The setting sun. Shit on a stick. Well, let's go with the Hanged Man. Why would you say the Furies are at home in the mirror?
Furies? Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that it refers to. And also, could you make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good normal name?
Less poetic, normal name, shit on a stick.
Ah, yes. I have to tell you, officer, I don't appreciate ironic titles. Other officers will have to use this as reference. If it's idiot or cockfinger, they're not going to get it. They're going to think an idiot and a cockfinger were on this case. So, do you have something less funny?
Less funny. The setting sun?
Okay. It's a good name, but it has one problem. This case has nothing to do with the setting sun. At all. It has nothing to do with that, so... something more concrete, perhaps? Do you have something concrete? Mundane, usual?
How about the Hanged Man?
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Okay. Oh, look at me.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
I'm not very good at logic here. Okay. I'm gonna put this away for now. Because I was trying to... Oh. Got another thing. What can I get? Let's... Visual calculus is useful. I guess we could boost Inland Empire. It kind of gives... Everybody loves Inland Empire. It does get very interesting stuff. But... let's learn to talk a little better. Store to the other side is closed for the night. Come back tomorrow? See, that's why I wanted to get this done. Sand is dripping from this punching bag. Oh. I've got a shot bubble. Smells like leather and sweat. The poster says Cutius Fortis. The rest is worn off. Something strength? I gotta know. I gotta know. I'm that guy that's gotta know. Or Sidious. Sidious Fortis. Sitius Altius Fortius. Faster, higher, stronger. So faster, stronger. Interesting. Oops, like, just do it. Oh, I need to put my flashlight on. What about, wall bars? They look unsafe. What are wall bars? Probably need a crowbar more than a bag for tear. But maybe not.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift this. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
Look at this, Kim. It's a trap. There's no collars on the barbell.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then.
What kind of a bastard would just remove the collars? It should be a felony.
It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
I don't think I should do this. But I'm gonna do it anyway, too. He's gonna throw his back out. He's like, look at this, Kim. I'm a sexy beast. Oh, and then he poops himself. Oh no, it's the gloves. Actually, the gloves would probably help.
You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous. Your hands slick with sweat. Turns out you're no beast, just an old man with bad form.
That's sad. Seems I'm a little out of shape. Or maybe these gloves are just stuck. Maybe the gloves is fine. I'm fine. I'm still the raging, manly beast I used to be.
Proper weightlifting gloves would definitely afford a better grip.
Thanks, Kim. You're too kind. Anything else in here besides this? Okay. Is there another door? Oh, no, it's just some stairs. Okay. This hallway is blocked by old window panes and debris. Sounds like somebody blowing their nose. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. A large demijohn full of strange liquid. I'm wondering... I should have my bag up, though. Oh, I know, Kim. Get off my ass, Kim. Where am I? I think things that need the toolbar will just tell me. Airship rotors covered in spider webs. They remind you of blades. I mean, they are blades. They're airship rotor blades. What a weird thought. Naked mannequin torso, a strange yellow color. Blue velvet, soft to the touch. Moth bitten. Acrid gained a production filament. Let's see. A steel rotor blade bearing Slipstream logo. Skis with Slipstream printed on the laminated top layer. Are they turning helicopter blades into skis? But where are the clothes that used to display? They probably took them with them. They're probably friggin' expensive. Let's see.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes, like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have have been pinned to the board.
Inspect the drawings.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin. And even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space.
Sidereal space.
One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Examine the welkin. This is important.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-welkin races will be purged.
The Magneto of welkins.
The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin. Green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures.
Why would anyone spend so much time on this?
Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game.
Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions.
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
One of them is a welkin supremacist.
Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
Ooh, well, this has been educational. Let's move on from the welkin.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
He's a nerd. Inspect the photos.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world.
I agree.
A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Well, that would suck. Inspect the schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal.
We'll keep reading what happened.
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice fields of nothingness.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Okay, inspect the notes.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe." The full text reads, "Heat death of the universe is the new black." Another note says, "The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s.
All right.
Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the doomed commercial area. She tries hard not to look at the bookstore windows. It's unwise.
That's kind of sad if everybody thinks of this, might be a superstition, and it keeps people from even going in to buy things. Just gives that. All right, let's get out of here. What do we got? We got a computer.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
He sounds surprised and a bit cautious.
What he means is that these things cost money. Why would anyone just leave it behind?
But we are looking for a fridge, and we are pressed for time, so...
On the other hand, it's not the time not interested in abandoned radio computers.
I hear you, Kim.
This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
Do you think I should turn it on?
Maybe the body has stopped decomposing somehow. I don't know. You're in charge of this expedition, officer.
Is the lieutenant a little scared? Just now when he looked around. You can always do it after the fridge.
Okay, let's come back. Everybody's telling me to do the responsible thing. Scribblecraft is developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe. I love the meta of this little section.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker. The mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient.
What am I looking at?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Radio frequencies for what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
So some kind of elaborate piece of art?
You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart titled the Game Master Frequency.
Game Master.
A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. Looks like a surveillance program.
My paranoia.
They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap.
Wait. Who's the Game Master? The Master Spy?
Someone very important. The leader of a massive on-air game built by these people.
If it's a game, then who's playing?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. A
Okay.
list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Ilmara.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
Yes, the cost of airwidth alone must have been huge.
Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
What else? Squint at the lines. Squint your little eyes.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Okay, so that's that. We got a door. Let's find our ice bear fridge. That's so funny because I've never had anyone tell me about the ice bear fridge. I've always just found it. The wind housing from the coal chute above. Okay, so we're in a basement, I think. There he is. Look at this monster. Look at him. Can I get more light on him? Look at that thing. Oh. Oh. Look at it. Look at it. Its eyes glow. That's crazy. Okay. We've got it. We've got an ice bear
You
fridge.
see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost and the bear's eyes are glowing red. This ice bear is a hyper carnivore. Be careful.
Dude, it's dead.
This must be the fridge you were told about. Look inside. See if it's big enough for the corpse.
Crack open the door.
A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
What are they gonna find in a fridge? Relax, Kim. It's the fridge, remember?
Of course. A giant ice bear shaped fridge.
He relaxes and his face bathed in the harsh light of the open fridge.
Just what we were looking for. Let's see what's inside.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
This is clearly the fridge. It looks big enough for 2 corpses.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is capacious and cold enough, too.
Capacious.
Shall we go and get the body, then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we'll manage.
the two of you. Easily.
Okay, let's do it.
The body is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get the crown to the basement. Then 10 more to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Oh, God. You can see the hand in the fridge. Oh, no, I didn't even know that. Oh, gross.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bare fridge. This is some of the best body's work I've ever done.
I agree, Kim.
You've definitely earned a drink after this. Perhaps even some pagan rites.
Yes. We need to celebrate by performing pagan rites. Let's bring out the meat and set it on fire.
I knew you would say that. I knew this would lead to drinking. No, no more. This is paganistic enough, and it does not leave this room.
Okay. Well, I think this is a glorious achievement. People need to hear about it. Because we did our best with the means at our disposal. Yeah, I'm not proud either, but we did find a fridge. So it's art. We're artists, and this is our vision. Okay, I'm not proud either, but we did find a fridge. Now, I think this is a glorious achievement. People need to hear about it.
No, they do not. They need to hear about our uneventful, boring, downright conservative murder investigation.
Oh, that's boring, Kim.
At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
Tell me who you are, dead man.
I'm gone.
How do you like it in the fridge?
I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius. A regular Corporangelo.
And where have you gone?
Into the wild pale yonder.
Where's that?
In the past. Way out in the west.
I can see you're gone, but who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
There's nothing funny about you.
There is nothing funny about jokes either.
Who were you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
Takes one to know one.
I have another question for you.
Go ahead, Cobbo.
What is happening?
What do you mean?
I'm talking to you.
It's the power of your
Black, frothy liquids are bubbling on his lips.
imagination. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. You fucking love questions.
Why do I love questions so much?
Because you're a copperoony. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Yeah, giving me a comical amount of questions.
Coming right up, copperoony Rooney.
Is my name...
This is getting upbeat now.
Is my name Rooney?
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
Rooney is not who I am. I'm Harry. I do strike myself as a Rooney.
No, you don't. Between you and me, your name is probably Harry.
That's what they tell me.
That's right. Stupid, boring Harry. Harry, the motherfucker.
And the killer. Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible?
Because you have.
I've got theories. I got big theories. Okay. Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible? Who killed you?
Love did me in, Brother Copo. It was love all along.
Can you ask me a question?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this?
What?
Looking at my face, motionless. Looking into my eyes. Standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
Maybe this will lead to something incredible, unforeseen, miraculous.
The clown lips on the corpse appear to smile. Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming. A miracle from the northwest, and it's almost here. You can feel it in the air, on your hands. The cold spring air smoothing them over.
I hate you. You stink and you are boring.
Do I remind you of someone?
A deep sea creature.
No, not quite. Be fair now.
I am in deep denial, sir. You don't remind me of anyone.
Sure I do. You just don't want to admit it.
True fact.
Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
Alright, search the body one more time thoroughly.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
No, that's
Come
enough.
back later, Corpo.
I didn't have the right to.
Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features.
Yeah.
Your arm reaches out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, dead flesh through the latex glove. It's right under the palm of your hand.
And what is this? I can see the corpse there.
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a rubber spider, your gloved hand crawls on his features. Everything is silent, all around.
Crawl up his nostrils.
They are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in.
Push your fingers in his...
Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you bore in, searching for something in the cartilage.
How am I doing this?
The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, spider.
Put your finger in his mouth.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop.
Play with it. This feels right. This feels fine.
The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, fragile, even through the latex. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in.
Open your eyes and look.
A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from his throat. And there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened.
Fuck yeah.
Keep going.
I'm just watching you molest this dude's face, like, You do that. Touch it with your finger.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound.
Put your finger in it.
Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
Brainstem?
Yes, that's what this part is called.
Good to know.
You've seen the drawings. You've studied them.
I know what bodies look like. Okay, feel around first.
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. The funk soul brother at the back of his head has gone dark forever.
Funk soul brother, eh? Push deeper.
Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres.
There's a cavity cut right between the hemispheres.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Push deeper.
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further. But the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow.
And we're getting
All the muscles in your body harden. Time to enter him.
punch a hole through his mouth. Or should I wiggle in? Let's wiggle in.
Your fingers reach toward his skull.
Don't need
His
violence.
cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Ice cold serrated metal. Its edges cut right through the latex and into your finger. The pain is barely noticeable under the adrenaline rush.
I feel a solid object right under the skull.
Can you get to it?
Inspect the skull
There's
first.
a tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it from the inside. The object that is in there stops just short of the skull, in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium.
Just short of the skull. It came in the front.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
Ooh, damn, I'm good at this. I feel like tweezers would be more appropriate for this than
You
my
pick
big.
the object between your index and middle finger. Feels sharp, like metal. You press your teeth together. Your jaw is clenched. All you need to do is just...
Okay.
Good.
The fridge is the background buzzes with excitement. Slowly pull your fingers out.
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth. The garden glove is covered in blood right up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
Oh yeah, because they like
A bullet.
bullet. The lieutenant is that what is? Yeah, I guess okay. Never mind. The lieutenant pulls a small bag marked evidence under it. Drop it in. Oh, look at us! Look at us
The
go!
bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-calibre. Rifled. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
Can I have it?
Of course. You deserve it.
You stuck your whole damn hand in his mouth. You can have it.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. Soft palate,
Abrasion collar.
back of mouth.
Would that be the burn marks around the hole?
High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Oh, sounds like heaven. Sounds about right.
Opinion, fatal injury.
I'm still not sure.
We have extensive tissue destruction away from the wound track. We have a bullet.
That's true.
And one last thing. We can now fill in injury number 3. Ligament mark. Opinion non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
he's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
Alright. Ligament marks, the fractured hyoid wound, it was all treatment.
Yes, and the belt around his neck. The hanging. Even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
Dead, dabadoop-doop.
Dead.
Let's see.
I
Agreed.
have had my doubts since you showed me the tracks. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him, I thought. There was no satisfying explanation. There have been other signs too. Small things. We were right not to assign hanging as cause of death, as the perpetrators expected we would. No such luck for them.
So the thing is, he was all... No shade on Kim, but he was all ready to just be like, let's just do the basics, say the cause of death was hanging, and get the hell out of here. Ask around, ask questions, we'll get more later. Even though there was obvious signs that this probably wasn't hanging, in my opinion. But whatever. I'm not a cop. The cops expected to do their actual job. I don't know anymore. Anyway, okay, who would do this?
That's for us to find out. But this It will make finding them just a little easier.
And why would anyone do this? Because they killed him and they're covering up, or they're covering something up.
To hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? What really happened here?
I agree. I think I need to wash myself.
Oh, you really, really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
I will. Maybe the bullet holds more answers.
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
Right. What happens next?
We put him in a bag and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. The body bag should contain the odor for the duration of the transport. I would drive him to processing, but it's too late to do that today. I'll do it first thing tomorrow. No problem. One more thing. This was really good work, detective.
Take the note from the door.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Examine one of the ice cream wrappers in here.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge or the decomposing body in it. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate. Even under this stench, you can feel it.
What is a giant giant bear shape? What is, okay. What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place?
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
The lieutenant reaches for one of the wrappers. He studies it in the light.
Somewhere in the past, it's summer. 5-year-old Fifette lets go of her mother's hand, change jingling in her pockets as she hops towards the ice cream stand right across the plaza.
Shake from the sudden cold sensation.
As she makes her way to the market stall, the girl starts crying. A ferocious ice bear is guarding the fridge, its paws raised to ward off any potential customers. Her mother rushes to soothe her, but Fifette doesn't want ice cream anymore. She just wants to go home. The ice bear stares at them as they leave the plaza. A gust of wind flies one of the wrappers right past the sobbing girl.
When I was like 2 or 3, somebody had a live bear at the mall for kids to take pictures with. And the bear started licking my face. And apparently the guy freaked out and said, "Oh my God, don't let the bear lick a little girl's face." I had like cotton candy on my face or something. The bear will eat the baby. So I almost got eaten by a bear once at the mall. The most exciting thing about me. Alright, so they try to sell ice cream from a hyper carnivore.
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The lieutenant points at the red, snaky cable running from the
The
fridge.
electricity bill must be catastrophic. On the other hand, it did help us with a certain corpse situation.
Indeed. Refrigerated meat is much better for coroner's work.
Alright, let's close the door and leave.
Some kind of superstar. They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, "Fuck off and die," in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists, or prime ministers, or prophets. And you're the first one.
Alright, what do I get? Oh, wow. -1 logic. The price of self-delusion. What do you do? What do you do? Do a lot of drugs. Learning cap for visual calculus raised to 6. Nice. Suggestion raised to 6. I don't know if I've ever used suggestion in this game. That would be interesting to put some points in. Learning cap for electrochemistry raised to, that makes sense. Composure raised to 6. Okay. Is 6 like the max? Look at all that composure I can have. I could be composure. What is... I never used this one. Charm men and women. Play the puppet. I'm not very charming. That'd be interesting. Oh, what have I got? Unfiltered contact. Ooh. Yeah. Endurance? Yeah, I don't need that. Half-life. Disco instrument. Let's see. Got a lot of weird stuff here. Some stuff here. Okay. Kim's like, we should go to bed. It's late.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager for damages yet.
We should take care of that then.
But I don't have the money.
Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the street. We'll figure something out.
Okay. Let's see. Can I scrounge up $90? $120 in this little basement? Probably not. Okay. Something over there. Oh. Is that a deer head? Kim, what are you doing to that deer head? I'm trying to get it. Oh, Kim. Kim, I'm trying to go look at the deer head. Anyway, okay.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Where are we?
Seems like an old bunker from the Revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Look, there's a hole in the wall. Shine a light into the hidden compartment.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
No, Kim, you do the honors.
Sure. Okay, here's some more rifles. None of these seem to be working. No!
His hand rummages in the dark.
An old Belmagrave rifle. That's rare to find in such good order. Seems to no longer be functional, but still rare. Here, it's yours, officer.
Thanks.
You found this place.
Pardon me. What does this mean? A rifle
It
here?
means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Let's leave. Okay. 2 rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. So there's guns all over the place, just hidden away. Okay. Let's back up a little. A frozen ice cream maker that's still running. Nice.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
Unplug the black cable.
Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
It's black. It's not like it's the red one. Because it's black, the color of immeasurable cosmos. I don't know why I unplugged it. I do things without any reason. No. It's black. It's not like it's the red one.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has one cable missing.
Cool. You can't even interact with it. Interesting. Okay. Oh. Intercom wires run through the breaker box. Ooh, because we are here at the doorbell. Okay. Fuck with the doorbell again?
An old call box
Nope.
with
What
a
do I need?
matrix
Full
of push
listen.
buttons lists all.
I figured this out though, right?
The tracks are as they have ever been. A bit more worn, perhaps. Fortunately, the street sweeper still hasn't noticed their presence.
Okay. Well, I think we're gonna need to get a room. And on that note, we will get it next time. And then probably start day 2 because, how would you say? Start day 2 because it's not going to take me that long to get my room. But anyway, I'll be here tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Anyway, I gotta go. Bye-bye.